Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. This is Charles Lincoln, and I am in New Orleans, and it is April 3rd, and somehow my lips are not syncing properly. This is weird. It's never done that before. I can tell I'm not in sync. Well, I don't know. Should I start over again? We'll see what happens when Paul comes here, but sound and image are not in alignment. That's bizarre. Why is that happening? It's never happened before on YouTube. Like some old home movie or something. Anyhow, I chose the topic of today because at Trinity Church in New Orleans, 1329 Jackson Avenue, a lot of things seem out of alignment to me, but we got the news in the past week that Trinity is going to be closing down for a whole year. Yes, the church main, well, not the institution, I guess, but the main church is going to be closed for a year because of the literally fallout from Hurricane Ida. And we're trying to understand exactly, I should say, not we, no royal we implied here. I am trying to understand why they have to close the church down for a year. And it reminds me of 2 years ago, I was wondering why they would have to close the church down for COVID. It seems that dislocation is a pattern of life. Dislocation is something that they want to make so regular that there can be no continuity. I mean, I hear this business about the upper rafters apparently shifted an inch and a half. An inch and a half, folks. And that caused some of the amazing stained glass windows at the oldest church building in the Mississippi Valley to bow out. You can tell that there is some settling. This is New Orleans. You know what they call the nearest thing we've got to bedrock here? At least, they have to dig so deep to get to bedrock for skyscrapers. I don't even know how deep they have to dig, but what most of the houses and most of the buildings of any antiquity at all here are built on is called gumbo. Yeah, that's right, gumbo, just like the soup. It's probably a little thicker than the gumbo we eat, at least when the gumbo we eat is new. But anyhow, I can't imagine. I've seen bowed stained glass all over Europe and Mexico as far as that goes. And yes, even in private homes in New Orleans, I have seen examples that show that the foundations are shifting. But what's the real purpose of shutting down a church that's been in continuous operation for 175 years, for the second time in 2 years, as we go towards the next 175 years of this church? As I said, oldest church building in the Mississippi Valley, at least old Protestant church, so I should say. Not there are older Roman Catholic churches, obviously. And of course, there are older Native American temple mounds. We won't get into that. But those are not continuously in use. The temple mounds are. So is it really necessary? I mean, I have been in churches before where they were repairing, they had scaffolding up while there was a church service. And the excuse apparently is cost, time, and insurance. There's an old Goon show called The White Man's Burden. Insurance, the white man's burden. Anyhow, I just ask this question. Why do we need to close the church down except to disrupt the church community a little bit more than it's already been disrupted by COVID? Call me a conspiracy theorist, but I'm worried. I'm worried if they will take advantage of this to remove some of the old Confederate white supremacist names from the walls, and even from some of the sponsorship of the stained glass windows. I wonder if the status of Trinity Church as a great Southern and Confederate monument is in danger. Is that the real purpose of this tremendous makeover? What are they going to do with it? I know that the clergy does not love the current clergy at least, does not love our Confederate heritage. So I was expecting Paul Fromm to come in here, and I was hoping he was just going to break in to the conversation. But he hasn't shown up yet. Anyhow, I said my bit about 1.5 inches of dislocation at Trinity Church, and I mean, I want you to think about, would you abandon your house if in a 300-foot long structure, no, maybe not that long, 200, 250 foot, 200, I should have measured this. I should know the actual dimensions of the nave, and try to figure out, I'm going to terminate this and start again if Paul Fromm comes in. I wasn't prepared really to talk for an hour about the dislocation. Oh, except I was going to make this comparison. 1.5 inches will cause bowing of some of the stained glass windows, I guess. It didn't cause breakage because they're just so well made and lit. Oh, here's Paul. Greetings, Paul. Are you there? You are very quiet. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? Okay, well, I don't think anybody can hear you. Oh, blast. This is funny. Paul, I think that does it look like my lips are out of sync? Not quite in tune with what I'm saying? Let's start over again. How about it? I'm going to try to redo this all over again. I am going to shut this down and start over again. Agreed.